or not. This is something all authors struggle with. Some people think they write great from the first word to the end word to the last word, and you never know. They'll put it out there and the book doesn't sell. I think my best book is one of my worst sellers. I don't think it's a worst seller. It is, but I think it's my best book, my best work. That comes down to putting it in the right hands. That's all it takes. So you can always sell a good book. So keep in mind, you aren't the best judge of whether your book is good or not. There are people who think their book is trash, and they're right. And that's it's important to understand trash, because that's an opportunity to improve. Where? And this is where feedback is critical. In order to get, you must give. So especially when funds are low. Otherwise, you can always pay people, hey, can get another developmental editor or a copy editor or proofreaders or people who can provide you input that you pay for. But if you don't want to pay for it, and most of us when we first start, you don't know what you're paying for. You don't know what you're getting for your money, and you don't know who the people are in the industry that you should trust. So give in order to get. That means join groups where you get to do some proofreading, because I suspect that if you're an author, you're an avid reader. Just make sure you narrow it to your genre, that genre that you know best and you read best. And that's where social media can be great. Get in with those people. Avoid any toxic garbage that people spew, and just, hey, this is an honest proofread. Here's where I was hooked. Here's where I wasn't. Here's why I would keep reading. Here's why I wouldn't keep reading. I liked this character. Here's say what you like. Say what you don't like. It's important. We used a 3-to-1 process when doing leadership coaching. 3 good things for every 1 correction or opportunity for improvement. Buzzwords for bad things. So 3-to-1. So make sure if you're reading somebody's book, you give them that 3-to-1 kind of feedback. And then eventually it's like, oh, hey, I have a book. Can I get somebody to read it? Sure. And then people will come in. If you give first, then you'll get it. It helps a lot more. And it's not an expectation that people owe you anything, but it's just that you're a nice person and people help nice people out. That's just how it is. You're not sure of your subgenre? Readers, they'll tell you. Just like my first long series, The Free Trader, I published it as straight action adventure and science fiction when, hey, young adult. Not necessarily a genre all by itself, but an opportunity, and that opened up huge horizons. And and that series has made a lot of money for me after I re-wickered. And this was 1 year later after I published that first book, and it had done pretty good, but it did great after I put it and labeled it YA and went 13 to 18 plus and marketed it that way, and it did really well. Okay, leave your ego at the club. Capital C, the club where the cool people hang out. And you have to be open. This is where you'll see people ask for feedback and they get it and then they argue. Don't do that. The only thing you need to say when you get feedback is thank you. That's it. And then you decide whether you want to accept that feedback or not. Remember, go back to point 1, you aren't the best judge of your work. So taking feedback, you need to know who to listen to. If somebody starts with, I usually don't read this genre, then don't take their feedback, because they usually don't read that genre. It's important that people read that genre, and the biggest group of readers. If it's science fiction, go for science fiction readers. But if you're trying to neck it down to people who like aliens, the best thing you can do is movies. Well, I think if you like aliens, then you'll like this kind of science fiction that I'm writing. Great. Hey, do you like aliens? Yeah, I do. Man, it's a great movie. Hey, maybe you could read my book. All right, there you go. Paid help, like I said. If you have the money, you can pay people to give you input. A good developmental editor can be worth their weight in gold, and they'll make you suffer, and you'll be like crawling through broken glass, and you may change how you write based on your developmental editor. And if that's the case, then maybe you need to take a different approach. And that was my case. I tried it. It didn't work for me because I would have had to change completely how I wrote, and I'm not going to do that. Remember, you aren't the best judge. There's certain things that I could do a lot better, and I did take that away from the developmental editor, but I absolutely wasn't going to do a complete different approach to writing in a genre that now I'm doing very well in. So it's just feedback, and you are the final arbiter of whether to accept that feedback or not. So remember, you aren't the best judge. Get feedback from the right people. Give in order to get. When you're first starting out, that's the best way to do it. And not share the subgenre. Let the readers determine for you that are in the next genre up. And you decide what feedback you want to accept and what you want to do going forward. This is the important thing, because everything, the feedback, how you act on it is where you're going to make a difference. People who refuse to give up, take that feedback, rewrite, move on, write the next book better and the next book better and next book better, and then write a new series and write that even better. Those are the people you see who are doing well today. Refuse to give up, but get better. Don't just take that first book. Hey, people don't appreciate me. I'm an artist. Yeah, okay. Maintain that attitude, but don't change your expectation to make no money. You need to learn in order to entertain. You're an entertainer or an educator. Do it the way they expect. The recipients are the final arbiters. They vote with their money. This is who determines whether your book is good or not, but you can always do a little bit better. All right. Hopefully that wild diatribe gave you some info, some food for thought. Peace, fellow humans.